What's up?
Sup?
What's happening, guys?
What's
Another
going
week in
on?
the life of sheep's clothing over here. So, tonight, our guests are Into the Moat, most recent members, and I think we're going to have one of the past members on tonight as well. What episode is it, Dylan?
20 jazz hands.
It's the big Beante right here. Episode 20, the new microphone edition.
Yeah, right.
So if you can't hear our sexy, silky smooth voices, Dylan and I both got new microphones this week. Josh has always had a good microphone because
Because he's Josh.
he's the fucking tech support master of the universe.
Rocket Man.
And I was talking with the Into the Moat guys. We're setting up, and they have a microphone set up as well. So the audio on this one should be decent. Either that, or everybody's just gonna get a lot of fucking air conditioners and ferrets clicking. Dylan's wife putting up Christmas trees. So, all right, guys. So is Josh still on here with us, or is he off doing his own thing? I do not hear Josh. Okay, so Dylan, what'd you do this week?
Went to Colorado. Flew back to Colorado on Wednesday, so that was pretty smooth.
Hell yeah.
It was cool. It was pretty difficult with the kids, but it was good.
So I take it you ended up not going fly fishing?
Yeah, we're gonna go back though. We're planning on going. We're going to the Grand Canyon in March, and we're gonna rent an RV. We're gonna fly into Phoenix, rent an RV, and go to the Grand Canyon, and then we're probably gonna go back up there and go whitewater rafting or something.
Some family shit, you know. So you updated your record collection behind you?
No,
No.
I did on the other wall. I started to, and I was just like, I don't know if you've ever messed with the record frames.
No.
Yeah, they're a pain in the dick. They just really suck setting up.
No, I listen to mine. I don't frame them. So yeah. Some more news we got coming up. I'm gonna start putting out a weekly video. We're gonna call it Wax Worship Wednesday, and it's just gonna be I'm gonna review a record that I have, a piece of vinyl that's in my collection. I'm gonna start buying some more vinyl as well to review. And then I'm also going to have, sometimes if people want to be on, have special guests to do their interview or to do their, show their vinyl as well. And we're going to end up putting that straight to YouTube. That's the only thing it's going to be on. All of this content is eventually going to make it to Spotify. Dylan's been working vigorously on editing all the horribleness out of every one of our videos. So
it's not too bad. It's been actually pretty fun listening to everything again. I don't know if you listen to us.
Yeah, I do. Like, the beginning episodes are kind of hard to watch just because the quality is so horrible.
Right.
But I mean, anything. It's an improvement every week because I don't. If you remember our very first video we ever made, that was just a tragedy.
I hope you have that somewhere. I really do hope you have that.
No, I think it might be saved on my Facebook timeline somewhere. So episode 1 will never be seen again, and the only thing you can find is from 2 to 20 after that, and it's all on our YouTube. Yeah, so we got a handful of viewers in here right now.
I'm really excited about your Waxy Wednesday. That's a pretty smooth.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sick. I have somebody working on graphics, so he's also working on the a new layout for our screen and shit. This week, Josh didn't put up the new phone number. So I'm going to drop the phone number in the comments. So you guys are going to have to use that because I didn't pay Skype this week. Yeah, so this week I didn't really do much either, man. Just kind of hanging around. Maggie had a death in the family this week, so we've been kind of like laying low. I did happen to make out to Josh's little camp out party we had for him. Saw a couple people that I ain't seen in a while. Had a decent time. I didn't stay very long. It's kind of hard to be around a bunch of people that I used to drink with every day, and now I
Yeah.
don't. So
Well, I was planning on coming out there, and I figured you weren't going to stay too long, and then the kids were acting crazy, so I was going to come out there.
didn't make it.
How long were you out there for?
Like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was a good time though. It was good seeing everybody that was out there. Yeah, so I put the phone number inside of the comments. I'll drop it in a couple more times throughout the interview until, and I guess if people don't see it or whatever. Um, if everybody watching right now could do us a huge favor and click the share button next to the write a comment button at the bottom of the screen and share it to your timeline, that would be extremely helpful. We'd like to get a lot more people in here before we start the interview. But yeah, so I talked to a couple more people this week to get some more interviews, and I got in contact with a fella named Jeff Worms, and I haven't confirmed a date with him yet, or I did confirm a date with him, but I still need some more information before I post about it. But Jeff Worms toured with Daughters for, I think he did 2 tours with them, maybe one. I might be mistaken. But yeah, I want to talk with him because I don't think we're ever going to get anybody from Daughters on the show. So this is about as good as it's going to get to, because I mean, Dylan and I both basically worship Canada songs, at least. Like, that band was fucking phenomenal. And yeah, to have him on is going to be awesome. He was in a couple other pretty well known bands as well. So
What
that
was
should
he,
be,
like a touring guitarist or something?
I believe he was, but now all he does is he's a welder and he like builds hot rods and fucking motorcycles and shit. And I told him that you have a duster and I have a dart, and he's like, "Ah, Mopar guys, huh?" So that'll be a fun one, just if we sit around and talk about Mopar.
Little clout with the Mopar. Hey, I looked at our page earlier. We're at 416 likes.
Damn, we were at 400 this morning, so
We're 75 away. No, we're almost 75 away for doing that big care package giveaway of vinyls and whatnot. So
yeah. And I got a nice hefty little stack over here of shit as well. Um, I got the Tower of Rome mail came in, so I have a, a He Who Corrupts sticker. I have 2 Tower of Rome CDs. I have the book from Derek from Second Story Window. We have the Shed for You vinyl. The dudes from Implosive Discordance is sending us T-shirts. He's gonna send us T-shirts, and then he's gonna send a T-shirt for the viewer that wins as well. So I'm trying to hold off on finding out who the winner is before I gather this shit from them, so that way I can get their T-shirt size, so they don't get like an extra large shirt if they're a little dude or something. So there's a couple other bands that we're going to send shirts in as well. So to do that, to be a part of this contest, once we hit 500 likes, we're randomly going to select a person who likes our Facebook. So, and you know what? It might not be completely random. It might be somebody who shows a lot of support to our page. It might be somebody who we see as a watcher that watches a lot, and we know that would truly appreciate this package. Like, I'm not going to favorite anybody or show favoritism and give it to like one of my really good buddies, but it's going to be somebody who I know is really going to appreciate this merchandise that we're giving out or whatever. So, so I'm not going to say it's going to be completely fair chances for everyone, but if they support and they,
we're trying to get likes, and you're trying to rig it.
hey, no, I would rather have 420 people who like our shit and are committed fucking people who watch every week. Because if you notice, a lot of the people who like our show at least pop in and out of the video every Sunday.
Right.
They all like, because by the time we get off the air, we at least have 400 views on almost every video.
Right.
So basically, the people that we have pulled in come back for more because it's content that they like, which I'm stoked about that. We're actually building like a viewer base of people who return and don't just like our page and never come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
The Spotify will be a little easier to listen to because it's
yeah,
not going to be so much bullshit talking. It'll actually be the interview. So
that and the fact that it's video content makes it kind of difficult because no one wants to look at their phone for 2 hours when they're just trying to see a 30, 45-minute interview. You know what I mean? So
right.
so once we get it to audio, it'll be way easier for everyone to tune in. I'm going to message the dudes and let them know that we're about to be going live with them. So yeah, if you guys have any questions for the band, pop them in the comments, or I drop the phone number in the live chat. Do not use the phone number in the bottom of the screen because it is not active this week because I am irresponsible.
I mean, there's got to be a way to hook up your phone to make it go through the computer, you know?
I mean, it'll sound fine on speakerphone with my microphone.
Right.
I don't think it'll be an issue. And it'll just be a lot easier than having to deal with that Skype shit because it's just too fucking difficult, man. I don't know how Josh handled that shit every week. But that's why Josh is the fucking wizard and I'm just the fucking Padawan over here. All right. So anything else going on with you, Dylan? Anything else you wanted to talk about?
Not much. I mean, the likes was cool. The giveaway is going to be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, we've been doing this for 5 months.
Are you sick of it?
Completely blows my mind. No, it's crazy. I don't think you and I have ever stuck to anything for 5 months.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to walk away from something when you're talking to people who are your idols. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, it's been fun, man. I kind of like the fact that I'm not the one looking into the bands. I'm just kind of going in here blind. And you're the one that does all the research and
yeah,
kind of looks into it. You know, I don't know what to expect for any interview that we do. So that's what I look forward to.
I'm thoroughly surprised about how nice everyone has been that we've talked to.
So far.
We've never run into a bunch of just fucking dickheads. Like, we've never run into anybody that I was just like, had a rock star personality that thought they were too good for this shitty little podcast, you know? And that goes to show the people that are in this scene or this type of music or once were or whatever. It's just a common fucking like courtesy to everyone. You know what I mean? And
right.
It's awesome. I love it. And I especially love interviews like the one we're going to be doing tonight where we're interviewing a band that's not together, that isn't regularly together all the time, and are getting together for an event, and they're just all happy to see each other, and, you know, we're all happy to have them as well. So
absolutely.
Without further ado, let me toss Earl into this. And see how this goes.
So you're gonna buy a webcam for Christmas?
Yes, it's already at my mom's house. She's just not going to give it to me till Christmas. I figured it'd be easier to ask her for one than have to pay for it myself. They're fucking like $65. I had the money, I just didn't want to do it.
So did you see that chat roulette thing that I sent you?
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that. That's gonna be a fun one.
For sure, that'll definitely be a good idea. It'll kill time for sure. That's, you know.
Yeah.
Luckily, we haven't had anybody drop out on us for a while.
Yeah, I think the only one that we had drop out was Graf, right?
Yeah. Right. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Good. Second,
They're playing Christmas songs.
I'm playing K-Dot actually, but is there a cat on the line, or is that just someone's like icon or something?
It's doing the Dominican channel.
All right. Can you hear everything all right?
Oh yeah, perfect.
All right, cool. We did the test thing and it seemed to sound all right. So.
I'm calling Johannes right now. See if he'll pick up.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll be available, but yeah, if anything, can we turn him up a little bit? We can hear that a little bit? Just a tad.
All right. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
All right. Well, I don't know what Matt is, but I'll start. So I'm Earl. I did vocals for Into the Moat. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Kit. I used to play guitar for Into the Moat, and that's also pretty much it.
Are we supposed to see ourselves?
And this
Yeah.
jackass back here.
I'm Matt. I'm just getting a beer. Hang on one second.
His name is Matt. I'm getting a beer.
And he played drums,
Can you give me a beer too?
and that's pretty much it.
Hey, they
dad
need to
jokes.
click their video because all we see is a penguin.
Oh yeah. No, there's more than a penguin there. It's people.
No,
See
I
a
see
penguin?
his
That's
video.
my like icon thing. My
On
avatar.
the live feed on Facebook, all there is a penguin.
Oh,
That's
I
not
don't know
good.
why-
Can we also
yeah.
max?
I don't know why that would be doing that.
I'm gonna scoot over because no one needs to see the flower.
Go ahead and turn your video off and then turn it back on. Let's try that.
Always work.
Yep.
Stop video.
Oh, there's not man.
Oh shit, Jonas is on full.
We could ask him about drying his boxers in the microwave.
I think. Oh shit! I see it. Josh needs to click it on his computer, and he's not at his computer. So my mistake about this, guys. But yeah. Somebody in the comments is like, penguins are cool though. So I guess. That's,
Damn right.
They are pretty
so
I already
I
have
guess,
people in the comments. Shit.
I guess first question would be, what made you choose a penguin for your profile picture?
Because true story, I just logged on for the first time in like 12 years to Skype, and it was like some kind of cringy picture. So I was like, I gotta change that really quickly, and it was just the cutest default I could find.
Oh.
Penguins are cool, man.
Yep. Can't argue with that.
That's about it. So,
Morgan Freeman narrated a movie about them. It was wonderful.
oh, so do you want to reintroduce yourself?
Matt, I play drums. I used to play drums in this band called Into the Moat. When we played music still.
And
It's been a while.
he still looks metal. Look at
Yep.
that hair.
Yep. Look at this. I'm committed.
Just like angle the camera down more.
Was he the one talking about dad jokes earlier?
Yeah.
I'm gonna break those out soon.
The most metal-looking character you guys have with us is into dad jokes.
And we have a big greyhound here too.
I don't know if you can see her.
It's Flower.
This is Flower.
She's pretty cool.
Aw.
She's,
We always like to have dogs on the show. Like anytime we have dogs, and we seem to have like a better response from the people in the audience.
Dogs make everything better.
I got Loretta sitting right next to me. She can't see her.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Loretta,
Hey, look, Madison.
Is it like a bulldog or something? I can't tell.
Basset Hound.
Oh yeah, not even close, man.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get a hold of Josh.
That's cool. Don't worry.
No worries.
So
We're still sitting on the couch.
I'm pretty sure everybody can hear you, but they definitely can't see you. They just see a penguin.
Yeah, it's showing up that they're talking and recording it. It's just no video.
Can't see us?
You guys can see us, but they can't see us on the.
we can. I can see you on our Skype call, but Josh needs to go to his computer and click that blue button.
Oh, did you like share this or something?
Hey, where are you guys from?
We pretty much started up shop in Cooper City, Florida, which is a suburb of Fort Lauderdale.
So we
Yeah,
all
we're
went
from
to.
Tampa.
I've known Kit since I was like 11 or 12. We grew up in the same neighborhood, so we've been friends ever since then. And Matt also, we went to school together since like 6th grade, so we've known each other since we were kids. And then in high school, we started the band. So in the suburb, Cooper City, it's this tiny little suburb, kind of near Fort Lauderdale. So yeah, we're Florida natives. You guys are in St. Pete, right?
I'm in St. Pete. Dylan is in Lithia. It's like
Where the
right
hell's that?
outside. It's like right outside Brandon, I believe.
Oh, that sounded like another
Okay.
country.
It is.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to turn down the audio because it's repeating everything that we're saying.
Okay.
My bad.
Turn off the speakers in the laptop.
Mute it.
Oh no, you can't do that, right?
No, there's no. The speakers aren't running on the.
Hey, we're good. We're good, Nick.
Is it showing? Okay, there we go. All right, guys. Sorry about all that. Now we can officially start everything off. That's the beauty of having the live stream is you never know what the fuck's gonna go wrong. So 90% of the people who watch on the live stream have to be fucking dedicated listeners to sit through half the shit that goes wrong.
It keeps it interesting.
It's just you guys talking to a fucking penguin. That's kind of better, actually.
So, all right. So, what we covered basically so far, since we're probably going to edit out the beginning, is they've introduced themselves and they originated from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Cooper.
So, yeah, we got the some Florida boys in the house. Which I never really realized how many good bands actually came from Florida until I started doing this because. Yeah, it's still too loud. I'm still hearing echo.
It sounds like on our end, so I'm not sure.
Nick's a weirdo. Whenever he hears himself through somebody else's speakers, it freaks him out, and he just can't continue. So,
it might be on Johannes's end. Maybe it's picking up his.
Now? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, just but yeah, no, I mean that's impossible to talk when you hear your voice back to you a couple seconds later. I haven't seen it work all the time. I'm on like a video call or something, and it's impossible. I totally get it. It's fucking frustrating.
Okay, so my buddy Keith actually got me in contact with you guys, and he wrote down a fucking sheet of questions that he wanted me to ask you. So let me run through a couple of his questions before we jump into anything. Okay, so it says Orlando.
on. What's up, bro?
So I'll introduce him. Oh, there he is. Okay. Hey. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, wasn't sure if you guys.
What?
Oh man.
How's the internet over there?
It sounds like you're connected to like a potato or something.
Yeah, his connection's really bad.
Dial-up.
Also, I can't tell if you're wearing goggles or really large glasses. The goggles.
It's just frozen. Frozen at this point.
Hold on, can you guys?
There he is.
He's just.
It just keeps freezing in different shots of your face.
He's going outside.
Yeah.
You might want to just switch to the audio.
Turn that out. 'Cause I can't hear them. Yeah, fucking TV.
Wi-Fi. Oh, that might be better.
he is absolutely working right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a firefighter, correct?
There we
And
are.
now we can't hear them.
All right, whatever. We're gonna power through this,
We
guys.
got like 2 engineers in here and we can't figure out a Skype call.
Yeah, seriously,
God damn
This-
shit.
dude. Skype is so incredibly
This is why we
complicated.
broke
I don't
up.
understand it.
Guess I need Wi-Fi for it. That's why I had. They kind of like.
Okay.
Hold on, is that a microphone on your shoulder?
The radio in case I get a call because I have to be outside to do this. I'm on shift right now, so. But I
Damn. You're that guy, working man.
yeah, I couldn't get off tonight, but I wanted to, get in on this.
That'd be pretty crazy if you could take the call during a fire. We could broadcast the fire.
Apparently, it's only while I'm on Wi-Fi, so I got to be pretty close to the actual station. So.
Okay, so one of the first questions that I have is Orlando at Will's Pub in 2006. You were supposed to play with Necrophagists. It was rumored that they dropped off because none of the band members were old enough to rent a van or haul gear from Fort Lauderdale. Is that
None of us?
yeah?
So, 2006. I mean, we were definitely not rental car age.
You played a show with Necrophagists in Miami.
Yeah, we did play with them in Miami. I feel like it was kind of a last minute thing though. But that was in 2006 or 7.
To be honest,
That was in
2007.
2006.
I can't remember the details, but we did have
2006, yeah.
we did have a truck at that time which could have we could have done it. So there must have been some other stupid reason why we didn't do it.
I don't know.
Something a lot less interesting than that.
Yeah, that's
probably.
We definitely could have gotten there because we were driving to shows when we were like 17, 16.
Yeah,
so.
we had like a Ford F-150 that we toured out to Texas and back with 6 people in the front.
And New York, yeah.
And New York, yeah. 6 people inside an F-150. It was like the worst.
Yeah, we literally had one guy in the middle where like the gear shift was, and you just had to have your legs kind of spread eagle the whole time, so you could like throw us off the road.
Was on that.
Yeah, we had to take turns. It fucking sucked. Man. I hated that.
Story was that, which was fun.
I hope you just respond with like 3-word sentences the whole time.
Yep, it was fun.
So is Matthew with us tonight?
Yeah, so this is Matt here.
Matthew, dad jokes. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So what happened to your Life of Seals project, and did you ever have an official release?
Wow, that's an obscure question there. That's pretty cool. The other guy that was doing that project with me moved to New York. We never had an official release. No, I have a lot of these like projects in my past that like were like really cool, but never really got released or saw the light of day. Yeah, the thing with Adam. We were playing shows in Miami for a while, but I don't know what happened. I still have the recording somewhere. So recently, I actually changed my personal SoundCloud page to be like a discography page. So I'm gonna start just posting all this stuff that I've done, and we'll see if anyone actually cares. But there's some cool stuff, I think.
Yeah, you'll want to look for bands like Flowercocks.
Oh yeah,
There's another one called Cemetery Fog. That was a really good black metal band.
Yeah, Glacier.
I feel like Flowercocks were like way ahead of their time.
See, one of my main goals from this whole podcast bullshit or whatever is eventually I would like this to become monetized in some way. And I would like to gather up material from all the artists that, we're into and whatnot. And I would love to like get, some rare Flowercocks shit and press it onto some vinyl, you know what I mean? Or like,
I mean, Flowercocks is so obscure. They've only played in like one living room, one afternoon. Yeah. But what do we have?
I got some Red Penis Fiesta stuff.
Oh, Red Penis Fiesta is also. This was a side project that came out while we were recording the design. Kit got really good at like programming songs in Reason.
Yeah.
So we actually released one song off that album that you did in Reason for free. I did. I don't know if I told you guys.
What?
I put it on our Bandcamp page.
But an Into the Moat song.
Yeah.
Not a Red Penis Fiesta song.
No. But I mean, that's what happened. Red Penis Fiesta came out of that.
Yeah.
But like for Into the Moat stuff, I don't know. Like I don't have anything. You have anything cool?
Well, like unreleased stuff?
Yeah, like anything like laying around that's like kind of cool. Like
we had all these cool ideas that never came to fruition. Like we were gonna cover Hot for Teacher, and we were gonna cover Them Bones by Alice in Chains. But
do you have any anything like merch wise that like
that 7 song?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh my God, no, let's not give him that.
So our first musical effort was
7-song demo.
Let me.
It's so funny.
Seven songs for a demo. It's just like fucking ridiculous.
We thought our shit was so hot, and oh my God, when we go back and listen to this crap, it is first of all, it's like the worst recording ever. There's like static the entire time.
Right.
I don't know how anyone ever listened to this.
And it's not like we had a lack of gear. We had too much gear. We were just too inexperienced to use it.
This is 2002 also, so gear was totally different than it is now. We were recording. We were talking about this earlier. We were talking about we were recording on these zip discs that are like 2 megabytes.
Do you guys remember zip discs? No, they were like 80 megabytes. So it was like 80 floppies, but in like a thick floppy disk. Basically.
That's what we record our old demos on. Things have come a long way. So.
Once I recorded an entire demo on a digital camera that we hung up. We hung it up in the middle of a garage on the like pulley cord for the door, and just put a couple socks on it. Recorded a like 20-song album in, I think it was like 9 minutes long, 20 songs or something like that. So yeah.
Sounds good.
I know where you guys are coming from with the shitty recordings.
We'll try to think of like something we have laying around, because like we did like a purge of any like leftover merch a couple years back, and we had some fun with it actually. Like we said, everyone that bought something, we would like send them a handwritten picture. We would draw
Hand-drawn,
something.
yeah.
So we got together here actually and just like drank some beer and just drew the most ridiculous, offensive shit and sent that along.
Like red flower cocks and whatnot.
Yeah, some of it got really weird. 'Cause we just kind of pass it around and we'd all draw something on it, and then I mean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Or anything, so.
Well, we usually get to this part later in the interview, but we actually are doing a giveaway where we're trying to get a little something for ourselves and for the listeners. And like we had people send in some vinyls, and like Derek Vasconi from A Second Story Window sent me like his book that he just wrote and all kinds of stuff, and like Chris Arp's gonna send us some T-shirts, some old Psyopus T-shirts or something, and basically what we're doing is just collecting one piece of merch from everybody we get, and then just throwing it into a big bundle package and giving it out once we hit a certain amount of subscribers or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys had anything laying around, even if you just drew a picture and sent it, that'd be cool. I'm sure somebody would like to have it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I doubt it, but I mean, if that might be all we have. So.
Well, here,
we'll see what we can come up with.
We'll think what we have, yeah.
Let me show you an example. Hold on one second.
It would be funny to get that 7-song demo somewhere.
I mean, that would be pretty funny, but I also
Maybe we
I don't
just
want that to.
only the good songs.
That hasn't been leaked online yet, and it's
There's no good song, Matt.
I was in contact.
Okay, listen, you're right, but there was like a few good riffs.
How about we?
There was a few good riffs.
What was that? What was that terrible song? And I was actually one of the reasons we put it out. Was Sunsets and Shadows.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
really cringy.
Yeah.
We did a lot of demos.
There was a brief moment where we were like a European like melodic death metal band.
Yeah, well, we first heard At the Gates, and we were like really inspired by that. I think.
You remember that whole piece of crap,
Steve,
Han Han?
And also Steve joined the band at that time.
Yeah, to be fair, Han Han was against it the entire time.
Yeah, Han Han always knew what's best.
Yeah. You were the death metal advisor, you know? You let us know if like this is lame or not.
One of the guys from He Who Corrupts sent me this. It's just a finger painting he did.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Wow, He Who Corrupts, man, I haven't heard that name.
Yeah,
in so
I haven't
long.
heard that. That brings back some memories.
So I listened to the other day, Creation is Crucifixion.
Yeah.
That band was awesome. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
CDs.
we have another question from Keith. Is a lot of Into the Moat's peers started on black market activities, then had to upgrade to Metal Blade. How did you guys manage to bypass and all that and debut on Metal Blade?
It's because of Love Lost.
Yeah, so we didn't actually bypass anything. We started on a even smaller label than Black Market called Love Lost. So this is actually where Black Dahlia Murder started as well.
Awesome.
Also, what's the other one?
Through the Eyes of the Dead.
Through the Eyes of the Dead.
This guy Kevin knew how to find.
It originally was two guys working kind of cross country. One was like in Seattle, and one was in Virginia, right? Perfect. And they kind of did this whole thing themselves. They were really, really focused on it. One was kind of a graphic designer, so they had a lot of the work done like that. So we got on Love Lost. I can't remember how.
The guy. We were on this website called mp3.com,
right?
Which doesn't exist.
mp3.com is basically like the original Bandcamp. I feel like that's like the spiritual.
We posted our stuff there, and like we got a lot of plays. And he told me later that he messaged me because of that, and he's like, he was thinking to himself, I'm sure these guys are signed already, but I'll just take the chance. And so we weren't signed, and he could tell us that I got Black Dahlia Murder signed, and like they're on Metal Blade now. So we were like, well, maybe this is good. So we went with them, and Black Dahlia Murder actually were really into us. Like they were a fan of ours, and so that's how it happened. Like Black Dahlia basically pitched the band to Brian Slagle, and they all liked it. So that's how it happened.
But like thing is, so we actually, before we were even on this Love Lost label, and we were trying to get signed because we were like 18 and thought that that's like
what you're supposed to
most
do.
important
at
thing.
the time, that is what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, sort
changed.
of. Not nowadays, not so much
was
yet.
changing.
But so we tried to get really creative when we were sending demos into record labels. So we finally we pulled all of our own money. We recorded this place called Studio 13 in Deerfield Beach. It's
they
where
recorded Newfound Glory.
Newfound Glory, Poison the Well, Shy Elude, a lot of like the old Florida hardcore bands. So we did all that. We spent like a whole week doing as much as we could to get like a 6-song EP. That was the means by which the end justified EP. And then we would send it out as a demo to get signed. And I remember someone told us that be unique in what you're actually sending.
Oh, God,
so you guys spent a whole weekend creating like
we were cutting.
I don't know what I was doing.
We ended up cutting like cardboard
cardboard
sleeves
It was
and
a
like
DIY.
gluing them together and pasting these funky ass anatomy pictures on. I don't know.
Yeah, we did some DIY shit. It was
That would be a good giveaway if we still had one of those.
Oh,
but
man,
no.
fuck. Yeah, those are long gone.
I remember I feel like there was like a really funny response from Relapse.
No. We have that's a separate story. I'll tell that in 1
Alright.
second. But
So
Ultimately,
we sent these demos in, yeah, and Metal Blade passed on it. Like it never made it past. Like it never made it to the right people.
right, but that one I remember the one girl who saw it and
The
heard
radio
it.
and everything.
Yeah, she was in charge of radio at Metal Blade. She was a fan of ours too, and she was like, "Well, I love this, but like they don't want to put it out or whatever." And then
It wasn't
turns out-
until Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder, who knew us because we signed a Love Lost, his old label, and he just heard us on the internet as well. There was some buzz going on. He actually went into like the CEO's office of Metal Blade and
MetalBlade.com.
yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. And like it was the reason that we got heard. So we put demos in, we did it the traditional way. It
But
didn't work.
before that happened though, I was like really, really obsessed with getting signed. So like I did some stupid stuff, that I regret. I mean, I don't regret it now, but at the time, like the rest of the guys were super pissed at me. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I was drunk and I sent this email to Relapse.
Yes.
This is before we got
Yes, oh
signed.
my
oh god, this is terrible.
And
I was so angry with you.
Like-
do you want to say this? You sure?
Yeah,
No,
it's water under the
it's-
bridge at this
yeah.
point. But I just was basically like making fun of all their bands, like which I love all their bands. I love all their bands, but I was like regurgitate like that band. The cover of their album is like literally a penis with teeth.
Yeah, you're ripping on the silly band names.
Yeah, I was like,
and
look,
album covers.
you're gonna release that, but you won't release my band. Like it was stupid.
Yeah, we
I was,
weren't happy about that.
I was like 16 or something. Yeah, they were really pissed.
So, in short, we didn't skip anything. We started on a small label. We released the EP on there, and it probably took a year or so to get to Metal Blade from there.
We did a few shitty tours,
Yeah, really, like on our own, booked everything ourselves and stuff. So, yeah.
Right. So,
shitty tours.
did you want to tell us about the other thing they were talking about?
Oh, that's the thing is that I sent this email to Relapse, like
Oh.
making fun of their band.
I'm picturing
Okay.
you now, like late up at night in that old school computer, like a compact Presario or some shit like that, and you're just like in that huge monitor. You're just like bright eyed, like I'm gonna get them.
I'm gonna get assigned to
They're
Relapse,
gonna
guys.
sign us. They have to sign us
Yeah.
after this. Yeah.
But I heard through the grapevine because some of the Metal Blade people know the Relapse people, and that they remembered this in the office of Relapse. It was like a thing that they talked about after. So
All right. So this next question, if I'm going to be honest, is probably going to get edited down and be like the clip that gets sent around virally and is going to be our press release. So have you guys gotten any royalty checks from War from a Harlot's Mouth or Attila?
No.
we haven't got royalty checks from much of anyone, really.
Yeah. What are those? They're still in the mail. Metal Blade says.
No, we get some money, but it's really negligible, I would say. But that's,
Well, for the people who don't know, do you want to like dive into what that's all about?
Yeah. So I mean, I think
I'll start this.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
So,
Make it juicy.
well, no, it's not juicy at all. I mean, it's funny.
yeah.
When we recorded the design, someone came up with the idea of this gunshot breakdown. So literally, me and Otani, the
other producer.
the tech guy, we just walked upstairs, hopped on the internet, and downloaded some gunshots, and went and put them on the album.
No, but we had the breakdown already.
The song was written.
The song was
And
written, but we had
wanted
the idea
we wanted to
make it
freaking
more like
gunshot sound.
I think we needed like a transition. And back then, when we were listening to this kind of music, a lot of these like tech bands and just kind of early
Everyone was doing samples.
samples were huge back then.
Yeah,
I don't know
for
if you guys
sure.
remember.
Yeah.
And on our first EP, like we did something a little bit weird. So in the studio, when we did our first EP, Kid had actually brought in a PlayStation 1 because we wanted to sample Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And there was no like samples on YouTube back then. Like you would take
Yeah.
hours to find something really specific. So he actually had to save a game before specific bosses, and you'd have to beat the boss in the studio so they can record the clip afterwards. And I like still think that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
those
pretty
samples
fucking
were
awesome.
on there.
But that was the idea behind the sample of the machine gun. I
Yeah,
guess.
we wanted to have samples, but we wouldn't have something that was really easily copyrighted because we don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah, what happened with the whole War from a Harlot's Mouth Attila thing was we saw that thing go up on Lamb Goat,
Yeah.
and my buddy Alex Leone reached out to me and Earl, I think, and he's like, "Hey guys, did you see this?" And he was just trolling you, Earl.
No, this happened in the comments of the post.
Well, no. It started with Alex. He sold
Yeah,
it
Alex
for a
posted
comment.
Yeah, you. No, this is all fake news.
Oh, this is about.
It's like some kind of elected,
So
bro.
I saw it because I follow Lemgo because I've been on Lemgo for like 20 years, it feels like. And Alex is a friend of mine, so like it shows that he commented on it, and I was like, okay, this looks like a ridiculous band drama. I'm definitely gonna read this because that shit's so ridiculous. It's so useless that you have to like read about it. And I heard it, and I was like, well, that sounds a lot like Empty Shell. So I was like, I just put a comment under his, thinking it would kind of not get noticed. Like it was a child comment. I was like, blah blah blah. I think they copied us. Yeah. Not being serious at all. It was a joke, I really don't care. We just stole some sample online. And yeah, it kind of took off from there. And then Lemgo like updated the article, which I think was kind of tongue in cheek. It was kind of silly at that point.
They were pointing out the ridiculous of the whole, the ridiculousness of the whole story.
Yeah, and then I don't know if I doubt anyone's noticed, but I updated a profile on our webpage to say that we were the originators of the machine gun breakdown.
And I think it was like shortly after that War from a Harlot's Mouth came out with another press release saying, basically, sorry, Into the Moat, we're not trying to say that we were the first person to do anything, but Attila really ripped us off.
No, I mean, it's just, it definitely was pretty close, I have to admit. What we did was a bit different, but it was a similar idea. But the thing is,
it's all silly shit.
I have to say, it's all pretty silly all together. So we were never serious about getting in on the drama.
Yeah.
Right on.
But it got us this podcast, so thanks, Attila.
Good job.
No, that didn't get you the podcast. We wanted you on before that. That was just a little perk because now we can kind of glide off of Attila when we post this.
We could all use some of that Attila money,
Yeah. I don't want to start any like metal band fights.
Yeah, you've done none of that.
Yeah, you've done none of that.
I never like Unbroken Wings.
Unbroken Wings really wanted to beat you up over some forum.
Matt's made a lot of enemies.
I used to post a lot of stupid shit on message boards.
Because let's be honest here, I'm really gonna clip out that part, and then, and then it's gonna say Into the Moat's response to Attila and War From. So
that's fine, man. It gets likes and stuff, and then
it's clickbait, man. Just clickbait.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll get maybe Metal Blade will come back to the table. Make us not refuse.
I think I'm gonna end up owing you guys royalties by the end of this. All right, so let's talk about some tour stuff because that's always my favorite stuff to talk about in these interviews. I got Keith's questions out of the way. Let me see if there's anybody in the comments leaving anything. I clicked away from it, so I lost a couple of them.
We gotta let Hanan tell a story.
Okay, go ahead.
About the car into the house.
It's probably actually not a good one while I'm in uniform.
Yeah.
But there's it's interesting story. I think it was our first tour. First tour. We were in Louisiana.
Yeah.
It was with Glass Casket.
Oh, it wasn't first. It was the second one, and we were going to Texas. We went to Texas, and on the way back, we were in Louisiana, which was cool. It was fun, and we were like 17, 18, and it was when we were riding around in that little was it like Ford?
It was the F-150.
Nah, man. That was still a Dakota, I think.
No, the F-150. We never took that blue one on tour,
It was small, yeah. It was a small little blue truck. But anyway, we were trying to get out of the show. Were we leaving or something? We were leaving. We were done.
Yeah, we were leaving. Someone was parked behind us.
And then somehow the door was open.
You're skipping a lot, man. Like. So it's like a little tiny like Toyota Tercel behind us, and we waited like 30 minutes to leave. The show was over, but the guy was not showing up with his car to leave. So before we noticed the door was open, because that would be the logical thing to check. Well, not necessarily the first thing you do when you see a car that you don't want to have in your way. But it was like it wasn't just us. I think Glass Casket was there and just some other guys hanging out, and they saw our issue, and we were gonna pick up the car, and we actually did pick up the car and move it like 2 feet. And then someone noticed the door was open.
And so.
And then continue.
So the door was open. So we were able to. I think we were able to get it into. It was shift. That's right. It was a manual.
Yeah.
Stick shift.
Yeah.
But you didn't know about manuals at the time, right? You remember like the details of what happened here?
It was your first manual.
That was my first stick, if you will.
I remember at the end of the story, Han comes out of the car saying, "I was hitting the farthest pedal to the right."
The left.
To the left. I was hitting the brake. We're like, no, you were hitting the clutch.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, we pushed the car. He jumps in
to control it,
to hit the
So
brake.
you basically push started it.
Now, we stole this guy's car for about 30 seconds, right? And
But
then
he was trying to slam on the brake, but he was slamming on the clutch. The car rams into the house that was right next to it, and we smashed out the headlight, and then we pretty much just left.
No, we ran away like kids because we were literally 17 or something. And then like 30 seconds later, we're like, well, we have to go back because that's where our car is and all our gear. So we slowly walk back, and then we push the car back to the original position, even though it's all damaged, and act like nothing happened. And then immediately when we do that, the guy shows up. And someone's standing in front of the headlight accidentally because it just happened. And he goes, "Oh, guys, I'll move my car. I'm so sorry." And no one says a word. He backs out, and we get the fuck out of Dodge.
Excellent. So, somebody named Ian says that he wants tabs for the campaign. Then Christian says tabs would be dope, and then Abel says that he would pay for tabs. So,
wow.
There you go, Kit.
Well, there was Otis on here. He commented even before the interview started. He says, "Was it an intentional connection between Century 1 and 2?
Yes.
And when is Century 3?"
So actually, there's a connection between all three albums. So Century 1 was the last song on the EP. So when we did the design, we wanted to have an intro track, and it was pretty early on. I think we decided to connect that.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the campaign is actually called The Last Century, so it doesn't necessarily connect the same way.
I mean, you did, right, Kit? Like, I mean, not like directly, but
so
the chord structures and stuff were definitely connected.
The symphonic ending to the design, the way the melodies are changing, the chord changes, those were actually reimagined in the intro to the campaign.
So it's something we've done with every album.
It's a lot more abstract going from the second to third album, but it's there.
But yeah, it was definitely intentional.
right on. And so okay, back to touring. What are some of the bands that you toured with?
Oh man, I mean,
Thumbscrew.
Yeah, that's a good one. So that was a band from Texas.
I'm talking to Poopy right now to try to get him on the show.
Oh, awesome.
They played in one of my best friend's parents' living room.
Yes.
In suburbia, like just the last place you would think to see.
It was a bunch of like high school kids that have never heard anything like that.
Yeah, they were like my friend's brother's friends were all there, who were a bunch of like preppy gangster kids, and then like this ridiculously over the top like brutal ass band is just playing
noisecore. Yeah.
It was quite a night. I remember that.
So yeah, we always met up with those guys. They were really, really cool. I mean, the obvious ones were like From a Sex Story Window,
Psyopus.
Number 12 Looks Like You, Psyopus, Acacia Strain. Those were like a lot of the core bands that like we would keep in contact. Iron Dissonance. Yeah. We never toured with Iron Dissonance, but we played with them in a couple places, and we ran into them randomly at a hotel. We were both staying in the same hotel in a small town in Michigan. They had the room next to us.
I don't remember that.
Our tours were passing through, and it just so happened that someone found out. It was really cool.
Yeah, we were like in a Motel 6. We check in, and then we walk outside, and we're like, "What the fuck? You guys are here too?" Like completely separate tours, crisscrossing. We toured with Soylent Green. That was really cool to kind of tour with like a,
really established.
Yeah, these guys have been in metal for like 2 decades. We were these kids, and they really just took us under their wing.
Yeah,
they really acted like mentors. They were coolest guys. And all sorts of band. I think Goat Horse is still going on, and
I think one of my favorite bands to tour with was The End.
Yeah, it was The End from Canada.
Yeah. That was like one of the definitely one of the better tech metal bands from the early 2000s, and when we got hooked up with them, it was amazing. It was like, kind of like a
you guys should get them on the show too.
And those dudes were so friggin' cool to hang out with and play with.
Yeah, they were awesome. They taught us all about Canada.
Of course, you got Cephalic Carnage. Between the Buried and Me. Like,
and Black Dahlia Murder.
Black Dahlia Murder.
Yeah, that was like probably the last big tour we did.
Yeah.
It was
the last tour we did.
It was a good way to end it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to me because like my girlfriend knows like absolutely nothing about like good music. Well, like this style of music, I guess I should say. And like I try to like explain to her like who the people I have coming on the show, like who they are and shit. And like the only thing I can really say is I'm like, they're on Metal Blade because she's heard of at least Metal Blade. So I was like, it's the same record company Slayer's on. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and also who was
They started
Cannibal
Metallica.
Corpse and-
No. Before that, they sold the most
Goo Goo
records.
Dolls?
Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, best-selling artist on Metal Blade. Not kidding. Yeah, man.
The first album.
so like what was like everybody likes to talk about like shitty house party shows and like, well, those are always like the funnest in my opinion, but like what is the most obscure or like ratchet place you've ever played?
I remember one thing that sticks out in my mind was like playing at some. It kind of like had the vibe of like a birthday party for like little kids or something in the middle of nowhere in like Maryland or something.
Yes.
And there was a slip and
This is
slide.
with him from a second-story window.
Yeah, there was a slip and slide there, and I just remember like playing like this brutal set, and immediately when we finished our last song, I ran and jumped and slid on the slip and slide.
Yeah, it was definitely like a party for like this kind of small town.
Yeah.
But there was a bunch of like kind of kids that were into metal and then a lot of people that weren't. But remember at the end after we played, the school marching band showed up and they did like a ska thing. Like it was just such a weird, cool day. And we were selling merch outside the back of the truck. And it was like I think something happened where like this.
I think that was the first night we drank 40s.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But we don't have 40s
Because we
in
don't get
Florida.
40s down in South Florida.
Yeah, so that was like a cool thing.
And we didn't really drink at the time either, so we were like really trying to force it down.
yeah, we were really boring.
I was probably like 15 or 16.
Did you guys play the show where Derek jumped out the window?
Did he jump from a second
I
story
mean,
window?
that kid, every time he was like, you talked to him before a show, good one. And like, he was, really well-spoken, smart guy. And he didn't seem like very, crazy. And then he would play and he would just transform immediately. So I think I've seen him jump off a multitude of objects and heights, as well as their singer at the time. Can't remember his Shane. He was nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably have seen him jump out a lot of windows.
I think that's.
I remember playing a show from a second story window in a church, and at one point, it was a VFW hall.
Yeah.
And they had the.
I think it's in Massachusetts.
He just he turns around and starts reading the
scripture
off the fucking wall, and he's screaming it to their music.
And he had like a really, really black metal sound, so like it sounded perfectly.
Yeah, they were a fun band to tour with.
Yeah.
They got pretty rowdy.
Derek would just went nuts every
was over
show.
the top, yeah.
He would just transform, and he just loved performing, and he just would go nuts. It was fun to watch him play.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest people I've ever interviewed for sure. Like he is a fucking gentleman.
He's a super nice guy. I actually watched a little bit of that today because I saw that you guys interviewed him. I wanted to see what was going on. So good to hear he's doing well.
Yeah. He's actually talking about getting back into music, and he was saying that he's going to start like a J-pop piano something or other, and like he's going to have a fucking girl singing to J-pop. I don't know. But I mean, more power to him, man. Like as long as he's creating something.
Yeah, man, he's doing something. You said he's put out a book, so congrats to him. That's awesome.
He was just saying that he got like the rights to a movie. He's about to make a movie that sounds fucking crazy.
Wow.
And he's like in the middle of like writing another book or something like that. But yeah, I've kept in contact with him a little bit. He's like, I kind of create like a little bit of a relationship with the people that I interview, and I like to stay in touch with them just to, see what's going on. And he's a fucking awesome dude for sure. So do you guys have what's one of the wildest things that's happened to you guys on tour?
A few ones.
The
There's
truth,
a couple of run-ins with the cops. I mean, that's kind of standard, I think, with the tour. But it's usually like it wasn't us. We were just involved because we were like really goody.
we were accomplices. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like the truth is that we didn't really drink or anything.
When you guys had Chris Harp on, right?
Correct.
Did he mention anything about a Mortal Kombat arcade?
I think he tiptoed around it, but then I found out that that's the reason he was never allowed into Canada.
All right. So maybe the statute of limitations isn't up on that. Maybe we should talk about that.
No, I mean, go ahead and talk about it. I know he's not. Or anything. I like to have the juicy gossip on here. That's content.
Hope this isn't a problem, but it's a good story. So we were playing in St. Louis, Missouri, and we got to the venue, and they had like a back room where you loaded all your gear. And at the time, they had this drummer. I think his name was like Lee or something. They had a few drummers over the years. This guy was crazy, but that's Psyophis, I think, in a nutshell. and he had like a Mortal Kombat tattoo on his arm, like the logo with the dragon. So he was hardcore, right? He was hardcore.
Yeah.
And we get to the back room and load our gear, and there's a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade machine back there unplugged, and he felt that was wrong to keep it back there and not being used, ignored. And maybe there was a couple of drinks involved. So when we're packing up after we finish the show, that somehow ended up in their truck.
The
whole cabinet, like
Yeah.
watching that thing in there was hilarious. And then the silly thing is that we're just like, shaking our heads like, yeah, okay, that's probably not the best idea, but we end up staying at the same place that night. So some guy offers us a place to stay like normal on tour. We would make like no money, so we couldn't afford hotels.
And of course, the promoter knew the kid who the band was going to sleep with.
Right. So we all get to this guy's house, kind of like bring our stuff in, hanging out. I remember I go back out to the van to grab something I forgot, and I get to the van and fucking bright lights just go, and it's the cops, like 4 cars outside. And I put my hands up, like, oh my god. And but this is kind of a silly, stupid thing that probably just kind of happened. We were just, adrenaline after a show type of thing. We're having a good time. They didn't mean any harm out of it. And then, Chris stepped forward and he completely absolved everyone of any guilt. And it was kind of it was like a 12-hour ordeal. It wasn't like a big thing. And that was a pretty crazy story. But we weren't really involved so much. I'm trying to think.
We didn't do anything bad. We were like so straight laced at the time.
Yeah, we didn't drink or anything back then.
We were like just very business oriented.
We were trying to like focus, so we would like be able to play our songs.
So like before you guys really got into playing together or whatever, what would you say you were into? Like, because you said you started out when you're basically teenagers. So like what were you into before music, and like what pushed you into playing music?
I don't know. I guess I just got the desire to play drums, and I was always tapping on things from when I was a kid, and I just kind of got into rock music. Actually, it was the movie That Thing You Do. Now that I think about it, that Thing You Do. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but that movie pretty much made me want to be a drummer, and made me want to like pursue music as a thing. So, and I also like taught myself guitar or whatever, and so this project I kind of put together. Recording the guitars and the drums and everything, and I brought it to some friends and from high school to see if they would want to join the band. And so we were originally playing all these terrible songs that I wrote. Those are like those ones on that 7-song demo that we talked about that will never see the light of day.
Yeah.
We'll just refer to that as Voldemort from here on out.
He took over. Kit ended up taking like the guitar writing duties and stuff, and we realized that we worked really well together, and that's how that happened.
Yeah, I think before music, I was just into skateboarding and playing video games and watching MTV.
Yeah, I mean, we've known each other since we were kids, but you picked up a guitar. I'm not musically talented whatsoever, but I've always been like, music's always been my hobby, so it's not like that became a thing all of a sudden. Since I was like 12, it's always been music. So.
Right now, I remember like each of us would go back and forth. Hey, I just got the new 9 Inch Nails album. Or, hey, I just got the new Bush album. And we'd go and sit and...
kind of
hang out and
do us under the bus there, but
like when I was younger, I always wanted to hear heavier and heavier stuff. I would get into Metallica and I'd be like, this is awesome, but I want heavier. And I would get into like Sepultura and like, wow, the vocals are like growling. Like
the good analogy is like someone who likes spicy food. They start with like something kind of like, oh, I like Tabasco, and then like I want something more. That's kind of like what getting into extreme music is like. You get a little bit normalized and you keep going the next step. Everyone reaches a break point. I think some people get to grind. They're like, all right, like maybe I've hit my my max.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where can you go really from grind? Like,
dude, it gets
like harsh noise.
Pretty much it's just variants of noise after that. But, yeah, I mean, you started with bass. I remember that. That was your first like kind of instrument.
Yeah. I was originally the bassist of the band.
Right.
And then we realized that I kept the music I was writing, I kept realizing that I wanted 2 guitars in there, and we couldn't find another guitarist at the time, so we got Johannes to play bass, and that's when I took over, started playing guitar for the band. I think shortly after we ended up...
And our other guitarist ended up going to like this pop punk band with the brother of Newfound Glory in it, and they were going to get huge. They were supposed to get huge, but that never happened.
I actually picked up bass to play with these guys because I just kind of self-taught guitar. I just got into metal, and I was actually more into like death metal stuff and like thrash and stuff, not into the hardcore stuff at all. But I was friends with all of them, and they wanted to for Kid to step into the guitar. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll pick up a bass, and just kind of went with it, and it was a cool vibe. It was a cool thing. We got a little bit more double bass. I got him to do a little bit more blast beats and double bass.
Yes, you definitely drove the band in a death metal direction, which worked out for the better.
Yeah. But I mean, you said like you just went with it. You spent like 6 days alone in your room, fucking learning how to play bass, man.
I remember he spent the whole summer just watching porn and listening to Slayer. And playing Slayer.
We were like, you want to play bass? You're like, all right. And then a week later, you'd like learned an instrument in like 12 songs. So yeah.
I was the guitar, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Playing it down.
I was impressed by that. I mean, like he learned like pretty much like how to play Slayer in a summer. Like he was playing Slayer songs like pretty much like flawlessly. Yeah. I think he's a natural, you know.
Awesome. So. Do you guys want to get into the vinyl show and tell segment?
Sure. So Kit, you probably do the honors, right? Yeah, this is your collection.
We're at Kit's house. Yeah, my collection's not here, but I'll show one that I like.
This dog's face right now.
This is a newer segment that we're working on. Basically, when we were talking with Roger last week, we thought it'd be a good idea to go through his record collection. So every week we're gonna have people go through their record collection and pull out some of their favorites and just talk about it a little bit and why they like it. So, I mean, since you guys don't have yours with you, you can obviously talk about like.
I'll start with this because this is pretty much the record that changed our lives.
This is the reason Instant Moat really is what it became. Because before this album, we were doing very different stuff. I think this album immediately changed our sound.
Yeah. Dillinger was like the.
Before this, we were far more like Candiria influenced, because that was like their first like kind of foray into technical metal.
I guess from the beginning was always into like this hybrid of jazz and metal. Like I always kind of liked where like jazz, songwriting, composition stuff like meets kind of like the extreme side of like metal and stuff, and it's kind of an interesting combination. And so the early bands that we got into were like Candiria, and they were like they did it so well. So Dillinger had like a little bit of jazz in there too, but really it was just like chaos, Mm-hmm. That's.
Did you guys ever cross paths with Shed For You?
That sounds really familiar.
They're from Tarpon Springs.
Oh. Not sure. I can't.
Don't ring a bell for me.
I will send you a link after this, and you have to check it out. It's good shit.
But that album, I remember Matt used to pick us up to drive us to like high school in the morning, and like it was just this album every morning. Like I knew when I was getting in the truck at like 7 a.m. it was gonna be Calculating Infinity, which is ridiculous to at 7 a.m. I'm like too old for that shit. But we listen to that thing on repeat. I swear I hear that today, and I don't even play an instrument. I can air drum the shit out of that, and it looks fucking sort of solid.
Yeah, and it's like so fucking mind blowing still. Like you listen to it, it's still mind blowing.
That's the most iconic album for Into the Moat, and we. I feel like it was a dream of all of us to play a show with them, and it randomly happened in Texas and San Antonio.
Yeah,
it was this massive venue. I think was it called Fat Cats?
Yeah.
And they had multiple stages, and we kind of combined shows. And they had heard of us because we were kind of, there was some like internet buzz. And, it was everything we could have asked for. They were awesome guys. We got to share the stage with Dillinger Escape Plan. So I think that was like 2004 or 2005.
I actually just went and saw them with Car Bomb last month.
I just saw that show.
It was good as fuck. That's the most energy I've ever seen in a musical performance in my entire life. Like just the strobe lights and everything. It's just fucking.
Oh, it was
pure insanity.
It's that whole set was just an audible and oral assault.
Yeah.
I remember when we finished the first Into the Moat EP, like literally picked up the master from the studio and we drove to Orlando to see Dillinger play
with Mastodon and Norma Jean.
The thing is, at that time, Mastodon was the opener. No one had heard of them.
Yeah.
Only whatchamacallit had come out. Not even Leviathan before that. Remission.
Yeah.
And we had never heard this band before, and they played, and it was I've never heard anything like that. And Norma Jean opened for them. There was these three like heavy hitters playing a small venue in Orlando. And that was 2001.
And that was back when like Chris had just joined Dillinger, and that's back when they were breathing fire live.
Yes.
So I'll never forget this was
43% burnt.
43% burnt. He would jump in the pit and just start blowing fire in everyone's faces. And get lucky if you didn't get your eyebrows burnt.
That's when the Mike Patton EP came out. So he wasn't touring with them, but it was right when they got Greg as the singer. That was like kind of they had like probably 6 months off trying to find a new singer and everything. So yeah, that was cool.
Here's another one that's very iconic for us.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Right on.
Still, I mean, this is probably my favorite record of all time.
Yeah, it's a fucking perfect record.
I have a unique memory of this because I actually I played drums for this band called Remembering Never for a little bit. Like I think it was in it would have been like 2001, 2002, something like that.
Right after high school, yeah.
Yeah. So we played Gainesville Fest at the time, and Converge. Their set there was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. There was a crazy fight there. And I remember seeing Nate, the bass player, like take his bass off and literally smash some dude in the head with it. Like it was the craziest thing I've ever seen, and like that's something I'll always remember of Converge. And that shit's online. Like you could see videos of it. Like I went back and watched it recently. It's just like they had to stop the set a few times because like it was just utter fucking mayhem, dude. It was like crazy.
And I mean that album's from 2000. I think Calculate Infinity's from 98 or 99. Like those albums are almost 20 years old now.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's like almost classic rock now.
Basically, 10 years are considered antiques, man. That's nuts.
Yeah.
But same thing with Converge. We were on tour and it was a random thing. We were in Syracuse with Thumbscrew, and they weren't playing. They just lived up there or something. We just met them randomly.
Oh, I thought they were on tour
but
too.
we somehow got onto a Converge show. They allowed us to open for them, and it was just. I think that's seriously my favorite show of all time.
Oh yeah,
they were super cool. I mean, you were playing like ping pong with them, and they
you
had no
playing
idea
ping
that
pong,
we had spent like 6 years just
idolizing them.
Yeah, and they even like I remember they came on. They even like thanked us for playing. They mentioned us by name. Like that's pretty much could have died after that.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught the part on the interview with Derek. He was talking about how he used to take his guitar and just throw it into the fucking audience or whatever. Yeah. And he said that there's a lot of times that it would hit somebody directly in the face and like break their nose and shit. And then like 2 seconds later, a guy called in. And he's like, "Hey, Derek, you remember that time you threw your guitar at blah, blah, blah?" And he's like, "Yeah, it hit me directly in the face." So then Derek offered to buy that guy a beer, and I sent him the contact information. So I hope that they bought each other beers and had a good time.
I hope that guy's not listening who owned the car that we crashed into the house.
Yeah. If so, like, sorry.
We'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, we'll buy you a beer.
Take a beer.
Maybe a really nice scotch.
Han's got to buy him the beer, man. We were just accomplices.
Yeah. I know I got hit with your guitar quite a few times sharing small stages. But I don't think we were so much into throwing it out stage because
yeah, I worried too much about my guitar.
Yeah, we like
throw it at strangers.
Yeah, we like.
But I was very, very comfortable with just like whipping it around and hitting my band members.
I got headstocks to the head. Yeah.
There's a really good video of playing in Orlando. Actually, I think it was at Will's Pub. And there was this giant, what do you call those things?
Japanese lantern.
Paper lantern, but it was huge.
My guitar got stuck in it.
He jumps off the wall. He did this thing where he would like run and like kind of jump off the wall and like swing his guitar backwards. He caught the head in this paper lantern, and it was so dusty, and like literally it looked like it was snowing on stage. It was like it exploded. It was awesome. There's a video online, Orlando, back booth.
At Will's Pub. That was Will's Pub, actually.
Right on. So okay, usually Josh asks these questions, but he's off doing his own thing right now. So I'll ask it for him. This one goes for everyone individually, or you can, get a group consensus and answer all at once. But would you rather fight a duck-sized horse?
Oh, I'm ready for this.
It's a Reddit thing.
I'm ready for this. I can already. A duck-sized horse or 100 horse-sized
ducks.
No, no way. That'd be awful.
Yeah. Duck-sized horses. Sorry.
It's really easy. Yeah, I've thought about this a lot because this is like the age-old Reddit AMA question, right? I think that's where it started, like 6 years ago. I started Reddit. I thought about this a lot, and regardless of like how it won't be easier or harder, I would not be able to stomp on a bunch of adorable horses. There's just no way. So if the only way of winning this is to like death match type of situation, I would definitely go on against a massive duck because ducks are annoying. They don't really have a use besides being ducks.
Yeah.
And shitting on your sidewalk. So
that's a big shit.
Yeah, and like I don't want to stomp on a bunch of cute little horses. So I would definitely fight the big duck, even if I had to lose. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yeah. I like to think that, but if I was in that situation, I might take the easy way out. But I say that I would fight the huge duck.
I don't know, stomping 100 tiny horses, I feel like by the end of it, my
Right.
soul would break.
I feel like all the little clip clops would be adorable sounding, right? It'd be like a symphony of this little. Yeah, exactly. Like Monty Python, but like tiny little coconuts.
Like acorns.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna get another beer.
So, okay, the next question is: would you rather live in like a tiny version of you live inside a kangaroo's pouch, or have your own pouch with a baby kangaroo in it?
Oh man.
Oh man. I mean, I don't really want a pouch.
It'd be pretty awesome to be a marsupial.
What was that?
What
was the question?
Would you rather be a tiny version of yourself sitting in a kangaroo's pouch, or be the marsupial yourself with a baby kangaroo, a little Jimmy?
Dude, the
little
latter.
Joey.
Like, girls would love that. Be like, hey, my name's Earl. This is my Joey.
But
No.
here's the twist: the Joey is extremely racist and loud.
Still that one. Yeah, even more that one. Even more that one.
Like, so, I already forgot the question.
With Trump as president, that's like totally cool and allowed. So
Political. We're
So
making
it's fine, right?
we're making a stance.
All right, we do have one political question, so I guess we'll ask that.
Let's do it.
If you had to live the rest of your life with either Donald Trump's hair permanently attached and you can't cut it, or Hillary Clinton's pantsuit permanently attached and you can't remove it.
Dude, pantsuit. Those look so comfortable.
they yeah,
Pantsuit.
I guess. Sure.
Pantsuit.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm-
What do you wager?
I concur. Pantsuit.
So it's unanimous.
I feel like I've seen you wear a pantsuit before.
Be like pajamas. Like the comfy side of it.
So would you rather have Donald Trump's hair basically on your head for life and you can never cut it? It would just look like that forever. Or would you rather you'd wear a pantsuit for the rest of your life?
Well, that means when you're fucking, you have to pull your dick through the zipper of the pantsuit.
But you're not gonna be fucking if you have Donald Trump's hair.
No. Women do women's pantsuits have zippers?
Yeah, wait, do they? We're getting too into details. We're getting in the weeds now.
They have to get it over their hips. So
Matt's still thinking about it, so.
I have to say pantsuit, man.
Unanimous.
I feel like the thing is, fashion is like reciprocal. So in like 30 years, those are gonna be in again, and then you're like good. You have like a whole decade where you're just ready to go.
All you have to do is wait in 10
You're
years.
ahead of the curve, right? Like that haircut's never coming back. It never came in.
You'll have a whole decade of just like being John Stamos. So it'll be all right. All right, so this one is one of my favorite questions because I'm a fat ass. All right, so you're chilling at your house. You just had a beer, smoked a bowl, whatever you do to chill and be in the zone. A fucking treasure chest falls from the sky, lands at your feet. Now inside this treasure chest is any ingredient to any sandwich, any food article ever. So you have to create the perfect sandwich. What would it be?
This is a kit question, I feel like.
So there's one ingredient in the treasure chest? Or there's ingredients to create the perfect sandwich?
There you go. Ingredients to
All
create.
right, I got you right now. So you take a croissant, you butterfly.
Nice. I like where this is going.
You put 2 strips of oven roasted turkey. You take a couple slices of Granny Smith apple, a applewood smoked bacon, cooked just till it's a little bit crispy, and you take a nice slab of brie, and you put that in the oven at like 450 for like 3 or 4 minutes till the cheese is nice and melty. Close that up. Best sandwich you'll ever have.
Can you make one of those now, please?
Well, give me the fucking treasure chest.
I mean, you probably had that. It sounded like you've made that before.
It's a regular around here.
See, mine would just be like 2 pizzas with fucking chicken strips and chicken nuggets and mozzarella sticks.
Hell yeah.
All that just inside of it. Pressed.
That thing? Remember that thing in New Orleans? Or no?
Permani Brothers makes a pretty crazy sandwich
Yeah.
with like French fries and cold slaw and all sorts of shit on it.
For me, any good sandwich has to have avocado on it. I love avocado, so Pretty much anything with avocado is gonna be my dream sandwich. That's all I need in the treasure chest.
Just a bunch of avocados.
Yeah, ripe though. They have to be ripe.
An avocado on avocado sandwich. All right. So since we're on the topic of sandwiches, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Technically, possibly.
Do you call it? I
Indubitably.
don't know, man. Do you call a sub a sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sub.
Then it's like a mini sub.
It's a sub sandwich.
It's a submarine sandwich. It's like where it comes from.
It's a small sub.
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so technically yes, but like no like normal person would say like I want a sandwich and they'd be like, I wanted a hot dog.
I want a hot dog
you
sandwich.
didn't specify.
Well, see, yeah, if somebody said, "Do you want a hot dog sandwich?" I would imagine them cutting hot dogs into slivers and putting it on a piece of like bread.
Yeah, same.
You know, I got that once when I was in Bolivia. I landed off the plane, asked for a burger, and this is what they gave me. It was like 2 pieces of bread, some fucking all sorts of ridiculous ass condiments, a burger, an egg, a butterflied hot dog. There was like sausage on it. It was just like stacked with all this shit, and there was a fucking hot dog.
That sounds
on it.
pretty good though. Still.
I agree. I don't think it's a sandwich.
Well,
we have a dissenter.
I was hoping for Josh to be on this point because we ask that question every week, and I always say yes, it's a sandwich, and he disagrees thoroughly. But then yesterday I had the mind to Google it, so let's see what Google says.
Oh.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Hold on one second.
Suspense is just titillating.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Here's a summary from Fox News. Merriam-Webster settles debate, calls a hot dog a sandwich. But given that the definition of sandwich is 2 or more slices of bread or a split roll having a filling in between, there is no sensible way around it, they wrote on their website.
It's a sandwich.
Wow, man, Siri needs to catch up because if I asked my phone that, it would just turn off.
Your website. You can read it for yourself.
Seriously. All right. Well, I mean, yeah.
I settled.
Like I said, technically correct, but like, who in their right mind would like refer to a hot dog as a sandwich? So,
Right.
I think you can argue it either way.
Yeah. So I don't know where my co-host went. This is usually where I would ask them to have, if they had questions or whatnot. Let me jump back on the live here and see if we got anything.
I just thought of like a crazy tour story. If I can go back to it, and it's really good. I wasn't actually directly involved. Really sad. We broke down in the middle. We broke down in the middle of Virginia one time, and basically we had like a bad alternator. We needed to get the van towed. But we had a trailer with all our gear in it, so we had to unhook the trailer to get it towed. You couldn't tow both. So basically, half of us stayed with the trailer, half of us went with the van to get it fixed. These guys stay with the trailer. I'm not sure. Think of it. You were.
It was me, Matt, and Jose.
Right. So we're in the middle of like a fucking cornfield in like Virginia, if they have cornfields. Sorry to anyone from Virginia if that sounds stupid. Some kind of crop. And you guys just set up in the middle of this cornfield, started playing the instruments while you're waiting for us.
It was on the side of the road. It was
on the side of the road.
Right.
There was like an open field.
So you just played for like a couple hours while we were
like, jamming, and then
yeah.
I mean,
set the drums.
There's no guitar because you can't plug.
No, I think I think somebody had an acoustic guitar.
We had the converter thing too for the TV.
Like imagine it's like your drum set wasn't just like
we didn't bring out an amp.
5-piece. It was like a rack with like huge bass pedals.
All I remember from that day is
driving
Jose. I remember Jose singing Conate while you were playing drums. And it just being like really, really weird.
But I remember coming back and I didn't know you guys did this, and I was like, I fucked up. I shouldn't have gone with a van. That sounds like way more fun. You guys just jammed out for hours on the side of the road for no tips. So, my buddy George asks, "Who drives what? Real men talk about cars with their shirt off." So, I don't drive. I live in London now, so I just I take the tube.
He lives in London, mate.
So I'm here in town, so that's why I thought it'd be great to do the podcast now because I don't get to see these guys too often anymore. But yeah. I haven't had a car in like 4 years.
Nice.
I drive a Prius C.
I don't. I drive like a Ford Ranger, but like I don't really care about cars too much.
Is it a Ranger or an Escape?
No, it's a Ranger. My Escape is long gone. But I am planning on buying the Model 3 Tesla because it's the future.
Did you put your down payment on that?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to. I promise I'm going to. So I want that Model 3 Tesla. Been in the market for electric car for a while now.
I guess we're pretty environmentally friendly then. Hanan, you had some pretty cool cars back in the day.
You know?
So I drive a Subaru.
I mean,
remember your dad's El Camino?
yeah, you had that. I like the Acura that you had. That was pretty nice.
The Acura SX, which is whatever. It was pretty cool. It was fun to drive. And then the Honda Prelude, which is pretty much the same car. But
Yeah.
also,
Do you ever get to drive a fire truck?
and a fire truck also. But I
Do you ever get to drive it though? Do you ever actually drive it?
got the cert for it. I'm waiting to get cleared from the department so I can start doing it here.
That kind of wins. Like, who the hell can top a fire truck?
Yeah, that's cool. I drove
See
one
that-
in UK once, but
That was the answer George was looking for. He's into drifting and all that shit. So,
yeah,
Dylan,
we like electric cars.
Dylan and myself actually drive like the worst cars for the environment that you could ever have. He drives a what year
Is it one of those Oscar Mayer trucks? Going back to the hot dogs. That's just worse than every.
Not so lucky. It's a 74 Plymouth Duster.
Oh damn!
So it gets about 6 miles to a gallon.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Wow, that's a nice
antique.
car.
That's antique. Hell yeah.
And I drive a 75 Dodge Dart. So
Ooh, wow.
Wow. Nice.
Opar buddies over here.
Antiques, man.
Yeah, those things
Yeah.
are built tough, man. They're still lasting after all this time.
I would never drive anything that's not an antique for sure. And a
Really?
Dodge.
Do you work on it and stuff yourself, or
It definitely needs to be fixed often. It's actually been.
and you
It's
do it
been
yourself,
sick.
or
If I had Dylan come over and help me last time.
you took auto shop in school too with me, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, in high school I took like 3 years of auto mechanic shop. Our high school had like a car shop, so it was pretty awesome. I would just sleep in cars all day and change a tire, and I'd be like, I'm done.
Oh, somebody else had asked, if you guys have gone to school, and if so, what have you gone to school for?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it might be my time for the dad joke. It's coming up. Coming up. So we all you can edit this if it doesn't go over well, so don't worry. Yeah, basically we're all like in computer technology and stuff. Like we do like I work in a software company. Earl works in a software company. Kit is an electrical engineer.
I'm an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
So you could say we're still tech.
Oh god.
God, that's what you've been saving on
Oh,
that.
it's like it's not just a joke; it's the delivery. The whole thing is just bad.
That's what you've been waiting for the entire show.
Oh, that's awful.
Okay.
Yeah, but you went to school for economics, right?
That was my minor. I have a business administration.
Ah, okay. I went to school
Management.
for electrical engineering.
Yeah.
And I have like a business / like computer business intelligence. So yeah, all just basic computer stuff. So software.
So what
companies.
What do you call an alligator in a vest?
Can I have a second? I think I can come up with something good. Let's see. I feel like the Jeopardy sound like "dun-dun-dun-dun-dun." We come in now. 'Cause I don't know.
Yeah, what's the answer? I gotta know.
An investigator.
Oh,
Damn it, that's
that
good.
hurts.
Remember you made me tell those terrible jokes when you guys broke a string or you like broke all your drumsticks and had to borrow some? The grape? And the,
We had some terrible jokes we used to tell on stage.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
We had some great ones in Japan too. Remember, like he only
It
learned
wasn't
like
jokes.
he only learned
No.
like 2 or 3 phrases.
So we got toured in Japan in 2006 was just like best week of my entire life, I think still.
2 weeks.
Just 1 week.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's like 10 days.
It's
Oh,
just 1
anyway.
week exactly, but whatever. But like we tried to learn a few words, but I mean, Japanese is not the easiest language. But someone bought like a book of translations, but we found out that it wasn't like a real book. It was kind of like like basically to troll you to say dumb shit in Japanese. So literally, it would just say like, "Oh, this is how you say fuck baseball." So I would just try to find the most ridiculous ones, and in between, I would just say random phrases, and people loved it. Like they were really like kind of offensive, but no one would actually get mad
No,
about
I
it.
just remember the one that I remember. He would just say, "I'm a beaver."
Yeah, like or just stupid shit. But I liked fuck baseball. That was pretty funny.
So, what would you say, like, is there a big culture shock by living in London or from Florida and London? What are, like, the major differences?
Well, before I was in London, I lived in Switzerland. So I moved to Zurich, Switzerland. So that's a lot more of a culture shock than London. I'd say London's like in between what you think of as Europe and America. It's kind of literally just this odd gray area in between where mainland Europe is a whole different world. I mean, I mean, they speak German there, first of all, so that's kind of tough if you don't speak it. Community is just very different, especially Switzerland's kind of unique. It's not even part of the EU, but it's surrounded by the EU. You're just in a weird situation altogether. Yeah, honestly, everything's different. I could go on for hours.
So like, what made you move out there?
My company. So we have offices all over the place, and I was just very lucky to work for a team that kind of had transferred over there. And
Right
they
on.
asked me over, so it's kind of hard to turn that down. Not too many Americans get the chance to work abroad.
For
So
sure.
I've been out there for a little over 3 years in general. So now I'm in London. Feels a little bit more like home.
Because they speak your language at least.
Yeah, but they still make fun of it, you know? Yeah, it's still like Yank language or,
Really?
it's
They make fun of
American.
you?
Oh, all the time, yeah.
Is that like racism or
Not really. It's just so subtle and it's not serious, you know? It's like us making fun of Canadians.
right?
It's like there's no real bad blood there. It's just,
Right.
you have to.
Right.
You have to assert your dominance. But then they're doing the same thing. They're trying.
I just think it's funny that the only like stereotype there is for Canadians is that they're really nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no,
It's because they are.
right.
I
It's
mean,
like,
that's awesome. That's good.
I don't know if you guys do like online gaming or at all or anything like that, but I play a game called Rust, and this game is basically it's like a survival game, and you start out naked with just a rock, and you run around and you kill shit. You have to kill humans to eat them to fucking survive, and like
That's cool.
you can like nobody is really nice to people on that game at all, but like every once in a while you get lucky and somebody like throw you a hatchet so you don't die in the wilderness or something. So I was like looking for a server the other day and I was just like, Canadian server. Let me try this one out. Dude, seriously, they're the nicest fucking people ever. Like
it's like a social experiment, man.
it's so strange because like I went to like the Miami room server or whatever. Dude, I couldn't take like 3 steps without somebody fucking hitting me over the head with a rock just to steal all my shit. And like I went to the Canadian server and they're like helping me build a base and like helping me fucking like giving me food and shit. It was so funny.
I think Canadians are pretty unique in that. Like Switzerland, I'd say the culture is generally like more reserved. Like you would not, you would never be at a bar and just randomly talk to somebody. That wouldn't be really socially acceptable. If you were to stop someone, ask for directions, they would definitely stop and help you and try to lead you in the right way. But there's no informal conversation. It's actually the opposite. So when you walk into an elevator, for example, if you don't say hello and goodbye when you walk off, that's considered rude. Where in the U.S., you'd walk on, you might say like, "Oh, thank God it's Friday" or whatever bullshit you say. Kind of this very informal. So it's very flipped. So
I honestly think it's weird if anybody says anything to me if I'm outside my house. I'm just like, what's wrong with you, fucking asshole?
You do really well in London because it's like you don't make eye contact there. They're not really big on confrontation. It's perfect. Like you get on the tube and you're not allowed to look at anyone. If you do, you just get shunned.
What's the tube? Like television?
The tube is the subway.
Ah.
Yeah, sorry. It's just, no one says that.
Yeah.
It's just always a tube. So the underground.
Cool, mate.
No, that sounded Australian.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
That is Australian.
All right, guys.
This
Well,
is a knife.
Still Australian. and bad.
it was awesome. Thanks for coming on, guys. Like I've had a fucking blast, and I know that you're visiting now, so I'll let you get back to visiting with your friends. I don't want to take too much of your time up. We're gonna say that you came just for this interview, so thanks for coming just for this interview.
Thanks for having us, man.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Like we said before, if you guys come across anything that you'd like to give away to the viewers or whatever, or if you have any vinyl laying around at all, we're more than happy to take that off your hands. So I'll get.
Do you guys have anything going on now, music wise?
Yeah, I play in a few projects. It's funny that you asked about Life of Seals because I play in this other project now that's very similar to that. It's called Eons, EONS. You can find it online, like Eons Miami or something.
Yeah.
I kind of play a lot of instruments in that band, not just drums, but like guitars here and there and keys and stuff, and some vocals. I've actually recently been playing in a metal band too. We don't really have a name yet, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty heavy and stuff, and
Drums.
yeah, back to the roots, drums. Me and Kit were jamming for a while, but he's about to have a kid, so that kind of like took a big chunk out of his time.
Well, good catch on that one, Dylan.
What happened?
I was telling Dylan, good catch on that question because I usually forget that one for some reason. It's pretty.
He's
a
skipping
pretty
over
important thing
questions.
to
Like why did you guys? What made you guys stop playing together? You guys all seem to be friends. So what stopped?
Yeah, we've stayed in contact over the years. I think like we kind of took a break after touring. I think we went a little bit too far into. We went from a part-time band for years, just kind of being like weekend warriors, to doing like a full-time touring thing.
We literally hated each other.
Yeah, we hated each other.
Yeah, we needed a break because we were like
when we got back from tour, we hated.
We were on the road, I think, like over 250 days that year. So it was a bit intense, and then we took a break, and then we all kind of wanted to go back to school, or
everyone wanted kind of like a more normal life instead of the touring schedule.
Yeah, and then life kind of took over, and we did do another album. We did the campaign, but we were never really 100% in it. That was, I think, kind of after that we were like, yeah, I think that we've kind of moved away from this. So
I mean,
but we've always stayed friends. Like it was never something like that.
Yeah, it was never. I mean, we can't really say the same about the other guitar players and bass players that were in our band at one time.
We've lost some people and stuff like that. But I mean, we had a reunion. We had our last show. We did a reunion show in 2012, and we had our guitarist from the Design. So we hadn't even seen him in probably 8 or 9 years. He flew out from Oregon, Portland, to come play the show, and he, it was an awesome experience. So
I've tried messaging him on Facebook recently, and I haven't gotten a response. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I haven't gotten in contact with that. If anyone knows Rob Schaefer, he was also in this band called Dark Castle. Yep. If anyone knows him, tell him to find me, call me.
Yeah, so there's probably multiple reasons why we took a break, which turned into a hiatus, which just kind of naturally turned to a breakup. It's unfortunate. I think we'd all wish we were still doing it, and I always think of like, what would we sound if we were doing it 5 years later? Because our sound was changing every album, and it'd be interesting to see where would we be, because we were just kids.
Yeah.
The sad thing too, man, is that like there's actually no money in that music,
Yeah.
And ultimately we had to like kind of face that reality. And music now, when I do it just for fun, it's like a hobby, because like we all have career jobs now and stuff. But I've never been against the idea of like playing with Into the Moat again. Like we'll probably do it someday, but it's a fuck of a lot of effort to play that shit.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Especially 10 years later. It's
To be able to play that shit again will take me a good 3 to 6 months just to get back in practice to be able to play it like how we did.
And I think when we kind of left the scene, like the mathcore thing kind of phased out pretty quickly, unfortunately. I don't know why. I think some other styles, like deathcore became like kind of the new big thing, and then
I blame it all on Job for a Cowboy, dude.
I feel like it's going back a little bit. So I don't know if you guys have heard the new Car Bomb album. Like that's like the most mathcore thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, we're actually interviewing Car Bomb next week.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I mean, Meta is just an incredible album. So I'm really happy these guys are pushing this forward, and it sounds like something I would have heard 15 years ago, like no different. So, and some other bands I've heard recently, like Frontier and some other stuff. So I feel like there's a bit of a resurgence in this tech metal thing. So maybe deathcore has run its course, and we're seeing more of the technicality, less breakdowns.
Yeah, I definitely blame like Job for a Cowboy for that, and definitely Black Dahlia Murder as well. Even though I love Black Dahlia Murder, but I feel like they spawned this whole generation of like. At first, it was like like Carnifex and fucking
Whitechapel
Whitechapel and like Thy Art Is Murder, and then like Suicide Silence.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time there when every single band was doing the European melodic death metal thing. Like, like
Unearthed.
Darkest Hour and stuff. Like
Unearthed,
Unearthed,
yeah.
So we never really wanted to follow like in that path, but I'm kind of glad that's ran its course.
Yeah, I hope it comes back though. I mean,
there's always very great bands that do a style, but then there's a million shitty ones that copy it.
Yeah, like I follow the Mathcore Index blog and the Facebook page, and that guy's always finding like cool stuff, and there's a lot of
for sure
coming out, and I think that the Mathcore thing is definitely receded, but it's never disappeared, and I think hopefully it'll come back again. And maybe if I don't live on the other side of the world, we can start jamming out again.
Yeah, it's crazy how passionate Christian is about fucking Mathcore. Like, he actually like got in contact with me once he saw like us doing these interviews and stuff. And he's basically helped me set up every single interview I've done. Him and this other guy Keith, who's just super into it as well. I think he used to run like a Mathcore blog or something like that. And yeah, they're just like, so they send me like Facebook profile pictures, and they're like, hey, this dude was in Into the Moat. Hey, this dude was in Psyopus. Hey, this dude was in this and this and this and this. And it's like, I've listened to all, like I saw you guys play in St. Pete at the State Theater, and I think it was with From a Second Story Window.
Wow.
But that was like early 2000s, and I think that was From a Second Story Window's first tour actually. And I think that was either that one or that was with I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, like Christian is just super fucking into it, and he's been super fucking helpful. So if anybody is watching that doesn't know about the Math Core Index page, definitely go check that shit out because there's always fucking awesome content on there. He's always putting together like fucking mixtapes, and he does his own podcast now as well. And yeah, dude, I give Christian a shout out pretty much every week. Like,
Yeah, I can't agree more, man. He puts a lot of work into it. It's a great community. He puts up a lot of stuff. I mean, he's posting every day, multiple times. So,
yeah.
Shout out to him for sure. A lot of respect coming from us there. So we love the Math Core Index blog.
Right on. So, let's see. We've been at this for a while now, and like I said, I want to let you guys get back to hanging out and catching up. So,
it's been fun, man. It's been a blast. Honestly, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. So thank you for having us to chat and talk about old stories and stuff, man.
But, yeah, man.
Let the guys from Carbom know that we said hi, and they're awesome. So
We'll do. So we'll catch you next time. I'll get in touch with you guys. Well, Earl, I don't have everybody else's information, but go ahead and like the Sheeps page, and I'll grab you guys as well.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot,
guys.
All right, man. Good night, guys.
Take it easy.
See you.
Awkward.
I was about to say that's always the awkward part when you say goodbye and they're like, do I turn off? Do I turn off my video or what's going on?
That was good.
Yeah.
Good. You were skipping a bunch of questions. Are you nervous or tired or what?
Yeah, I was nervous. Hold on a second. I gotta get out of this jacket. I'm sweating my ass off. All right. So yeah, that was
Now you're ready to interview.
with my fucking Children of Bodom shirt. So what do we have next week? We have
Carbom.
Yeah, let me check our events in my calendar. Yeah, so December 18th, we're going to be interviewing Michael from Carbom. Then we're going to take a 2-week hiatus for Christmas and New Year's Day. So you guys won't have to see us posting shit on Facebook for 2 weeks. So enjoy it. Spend time with your families and have fun. And then
so are you going to put together a highlight reel?
If I have the time, I definitely will. I don't see myself doing anything else, so I'll probably throw some stuff together. I'd like to fuck around with that video editing program as well. So
yeah,
I'll find some good stuff, and I definitely want to start clipping, like taking short clips of videos and sending them out to record companies and people who are doing different stuff and promoting and have their own pages. Because if I can make 5-minute clips of an interview, I can be like, of a funny part of the interview, just be like, go check out the whole interview at the Sheep's Clothing YouTube or something. You know what I mean? And people are more likely to watch a 5-minute video than a 2-hour fucking live stream.
Yeah.
And then January 8th, we have Simon from War from a Harlot's Mouth, and he's also in Nightmare. Then I'm super excited for January 15th. We're going to have Tony from Lie by Mistake. And I don't know if you guys know them. I know a lot of people do, but if you don't, I highly recommend checking that out. It's seriously it's amazing. And really, really stoked about that interview as well. And then we have January 22nd. We have John from Success Will Write Apocalypse Across the Sky, and also Nightmare as well. So we have 2 of the guys from Nightmare coming on in the next month. So I know that they're blowing up as well, and a lot of people are really, really into them. And then the following week after that, we're probably going to have Jeff Worms from Daughters and Terramellos. So, yep, my phone just died, so that's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you guys. You'll have to tune in to see the rest. What's that? It's 10:44. We got anything else to talk about? No, nothing coming up. Nothing good.
I mean,
nothing.
I guess I really wasn't very talkative tonight. You just kind of carried it. So.
That's why you're like, oh, you don't have any questions. You're skipping over these questions because I'm asking every question. interject, dog. You got to help me out. Especially if Josh isn't here either. At least Josh snickers in the background.
No, I'm telling you, dude. Like, I don't want to talk over anything because it doesn't sound good when you edit it.
Yeah, I feel you.
So if you were to like go back and forth, it's a little easier to edit. You know?
Yeah, it's really hard to when you're interviewing, and since it's a Skype call, it's hard for us to like all take turns talking, because that's not how a conversation really works. Like, especially if I'm trying to host a show, I have to kind of just steer it in a certain direction, you know?
Right.
I can't, like, if they're talking about something for 20 minutes, I mean, I don't care what they want to talk about, but I mean, other people might want to hear about something else, or I have a bunch of other questions I got to get to. And then I feel like I'm constantly trying to interject, and that just in turn turns into me like talking over them. And the way Skype works is it just loses all audio quality when two people talk at the same time.
Yep. And with me doing the editing, I'm finding so many different,
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing that? I mean, even when we're like, for Hope, man, that was, we're just dying laughing the entire show. And there's so much laughing going on that it's just blank.
Yeah, you just can't hear anything.
It's just nothing.
Oh man, well, at least my ferrets were asleep tonight, man. Like, this new microphone picks them up so well, it's crazy. It's just like they're like itching and shit. So I might have to end up finding another place in my house for these critters, or my podcast. So.
No, it sounds good though, man. Microphone sounds good. Hope I sound good.
Yeah, it does.
Sucks Josh isn't here, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's why he's Iceman and you're Goose.
He'll be Rocket Man forever.
Iceman is definitely pertinent to the story of Top Gun.
Yeah, hey, that's smooth that they gave Math Core Index a shout out.
Yeah, for sure. I always like to try to help Christian out because he helps us out so freaking much.
I know.
And
hey, you got to get a hold of homeboy from Graph Orlock again, man.
Yeah, I will. We're like almost 2 months ahead in booking right now, so just give it some time. I don't like to get a hold of people and be like, "Hey, 2 months from now, I'm gonna have a podcast." Try to remember when that is. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I try to keep it like within a couple weeks. So and then I always just message people the week of, and like tonight it seemed like Earl was really stoked about having this, podcast, because like I said, it was perfect timing when I got a hold of him, because he was coming back from London and he was going to be with the other guys. So it just worked out.
Yeah, sometimes shit happens, happens for a reason.
Yeah. So my girlfriend and I were chilling on the couch yesterday and just decided that we were going to give each other all of our Christmas presents and just open them all right now. So now we both have awesome shit, but we have no presents for Christmas. So now I have to go Christmas shopping all over again. Yeah, so.
Hey, Josh is back.
Wonder what Josh was doing. You're watching some foosball recaps. I don't know. So Josh, you didn't get really talk much. What'd you do this week?
What'd I do?
You worked.
Yeah, I went to Stephen Pravat's wedding yesterday.
Oh, how many weddings do you go to, man?
Oh man,
You're always at a wedding.
This year, 3.
That's why I don't have any friends, because I don't want to go to any more fucking weddings than I have to. So if you're getting married and you're watching this, don't fucking invite me.
I'm getting married.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know.
There's an exception. I know there's not going to be a church involved, so I guess I'll go.
Nah.
I might surprise us.
Yo, so is it just me? Because all I can see is the little video of myself, or do I look fucking ripped right now? This fisheye, man, is flattering. Just break the traps out.
It's pronounced swolled.
Straight swolled, bro. All right, guys. Well, my phone's dead. I don't know what time it is. I don't know if anybody's saying anything in the comments. And last time I
6 viewers.
6 viewers. All right. Well, from the sheep's clothing men, good night. Have a great fucking week.
Men.
We'll see you next Sunday for the Church of Sheep's Clothing. You got anything to add, Josh?
Dick balls.
Oh, yo, were you watching, Josh?
A little bit. I checked in a few times.
So
we're just like, Josh, click the video button.
Oh yeah.
So a hot dog is a sandwich, just so you know.
It's a sub sandwich.
No, it's not a sandwich.
Google that shit. Ask Google. Google Helper or whatever. She straight up reads it to you.
Leave everything on the internet.
Dude, no. Webster's motherfucking dictionary pronounced it a fucking sandwich.
Let me get a hot dog sandwich.
No, it's a sandwich because it's in between bread.
What kind of sandwich you want? Hot dog. It doesn't happen. It never happens.
Eat fresh. Can I get a 6-inch hot dog on rye?
And we got another question that's a weekly question now that I saw off of Parks and Recreation, actually. It was...
Dude, that was fun. That caught me off guard.
Josh, if you had to be either a mini version of yourself living in a kangaroo pouch or have a kangaroo living in a pouch on yourself, which would it be?
I hear kangaroo pouches are pretty fucking disgusting, so I'd probably want the pouch myself.
But the mini kangaroo is racist.
So this can talk.
Yes, it can speak and it's racist.
All right.
So what color is the kangaroo? What is it racist against?
Things that aren't marsupials.
I'd stick with my original answer. I'd still stick with them.
You just have a little racist kangaroo?
Guess so.
Now, would that be with Trump hair or would that be with the Hillary pantsuit?
I want a kangaroo with Trump hair.
I mean, Trump hair is fitting, isn't it?
Because it's racist. All right.
I want a kangaroo with Trump hair.
All right, for everybody who wants a kangaroo with Trump hair, we'll see you next week.
Did you see that video? Where the
I don't know.
dude stands up to the kangaroo because the kangaroo's like choking out his dog.
Fucking PETA is after them now.
That is hilarious, though. That is
if you watch that video, though, like after they squared up and the kangaroo looked at the guy,
that was the best part.
He goes for a fucking knife on his belt, but then the kangaroo runs. So he was about to gore a kangaroo, like, straight up.
That was funny, though, that look that kangaroo gave him after he fucking punched him. It's just like... He's like, you did not just fucking do that.
All right, guys. Let's end this live transmission.
It is.
It's been done.
It's been done.
Oh, okay. See, that was good content. We should have left that on. All right, motherfuckers. I gotta get up early. Josh, you playing Rust tonight?
I might. Yeah,
I'm
in a little bit,
early.
though. I'll probably,
I gotta get up early. I'm gonna
30
play
minutes.
Rust tonight.
Well, in reality, that means my girlfriend has to get up early, and I'm gonna go lay down with her until she falls asleep. Then I'm gonna play Rust.
Hubby material.
See you guys.
All right, guys. I'll see you next week. See you in a little bit, Josh.
Later.
So,
Dylan, get Rust, motherfucker.
yeah, I don't feel like getting.